Chapter 9. Healing the Wounds, Overcoming Emotional Damage and Rebuilding Identity. The long-term impact of emotional abuse and strategies for personal growth. Emotional abuse, particularly when combined with manipulation and gaslighting, leaves deep psychological scars. Unlike physical abuse, emotional wounds are often invisible, yet they can be equally damaging, if not more so. Manipulators and gaslighters break down their victim's sense of self, creating confusion, self-doubt, and ultimately, a crisis of identity. The aftermath of such abuse can lead to long-term struggles with self-esteem, distorted perceptions of reality, and an overwhelming sense of loss. In this chapter, we will explore the emotional damage inflicted by manipulators and gaslighters and offer strategies to help survivors rebuild their sense of self. Through practical tools, therapeutic methods, and insights into personal growth, this chapter provides a roadmap for healing and rebuilding one's life after experiencing emotional trauma. The psychological damage of emotional abuse. Emotional abuse and manipulation cause significant damage to a person's psyche. Over time, the constant emotional bombardment chips away at the victim's confidence, making them question their worth and even their sanity. This often leads to long-lasting effects such as 1. Low self-esteem. One of the most common consequences of emotional abuse is a shattered self-esteem. Manipulators often use tactics like criticism, blame shifting, and gaslighting to undermine their victims' confidence. Over time, victims may internalize these negative messages, believing they are unworthy, inadequate, or incapable of making sound decisions. 2. Identity crisis. Many victims of emotional abuse struggle with a loss of identity. When a manipulator controls a person's perception of themselves, they may begin to feel disconnected from who they once were. Their interests, goals, and desires may become obscured, leaving them feeling lost and unsure of their place in the world. 3. Cognitive dissonance and confusion. Gaslighting, in particular, leads to severe cognitive dissonance. The victim's perception of reality is repeatedly questioned, which creates confusion about what is true and what is not. Over time, this creates a deep internal conflict, making it difficult for the individual to trust their own thoughts and experiences. 4. Depression and anxiety. Victims of emotional abuse often experience depression, anxiety, and feelings of hopelessness. The manipulation and emotional neglect can leave individuals feeling overwhelmed and powerless, with a persistent sense of sadness and fear about the future. 5. Difficulty trusting others. Emotional abuse often leads to a general distrust of others, especially in relationships. Victims may struggle to trust their friends, family members, or future partners, fearing that they will be manipulated or hurt again. These emotional wounds are not easy to heal, but with the right strategies and support, individuals can rebuild their confidence and restore their sense of self. Scientific insights. The role of therapy, self-compassion, and neuroplasticity in healing. Research into the effects of emotional abuse has illuminated how trauma can change the brain, particularly in areas related to memory, emotional regulation, and self-perception. Emotional abuse can alter neural pathways, leading to a distorted view of the self and the world. However, the brain is also capable of neuroplasticity, the ability to rewire itself and recover from trauma. Therapy and trauma-informed care. Therapy is one of the most effective tools in helping victims of emotional abuse heal. Working with a therapist who specializes in trauma-informed care is essential, as it provides a safe space for individuals to process the emotional scars left by abuse. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, EMDR, are two therapeutic approaches that can be particularly helpful for survivors of emotional manipulation. CBT helps individuals challenge negative self-beliefs and cognitive distortions. For example, a victim of gaslighting might believe they are incapable of making good decisions or that their emotions are always invalid. CBT can help identify these distortions and replace them with healthier, more realistic thoughts. EMDR is a form of therapy that helps process painful memories by using bilateral stimulation, such as eye movements, to reduce the emotional charge attached to traumatic memories. This can be particularly helpful for those who are stuck in cycles of guilt, shame, or confusion as a result of emotional manipulation. Neuroplasticity and rewiring the brain. The concept of neuroplasticity offers hope for those struggling with the long-term effects of emotional abuse. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to form new neural connections in response to learning, experience, or healing. This means that, through consistent therapeutic interventions, self-compassion practices, and mindfulness, individuals can rewire their brains to heal from the trauma and restore a healthier sense of self. Research has shown that practices such as mindfulness meditation, positive affirmations, and engaging in new, fulfilling experiences can stimulate neuroplastic changes that help victims break free from the patterns of self-doubt and anxiety instilled by emotional abuse. Self-compassion, a cornerstone of healing. Self-compassion is another crucial element in the healing process. Victims of emotional manipulation often internalize harmful beliefs about themselves, believing they are unworthy or undeserving of love. These self-critical thoughts can reinforce feelings of inadequacy and prevent healing. Dr. Kristen Neff, a leading researcher on self-compassion, explains that self-compassion involves treating oneself with kindness, understanding, and patience, especially in times of difficulty. Rather than criticizing oneself for past mistakes or weaknesses, self-compassion allows individuals to offer themselves the same warmth and support they would offer a close friend. By practicing self-compassion, victims of emotional abuse can begin to dismantle the toxic narratives instilled by their abusers and replace them with healthier, more empowering beliefs about themselves. This process involves recognizing and embracing imperfections while understanding that everyone deserves kindness, including oneself. Real-world case study: Tom's journey to healing. Tom's story illustrates how the process of rebuilding one's identity after emotional abuse can take time, but it is absolutely possible with the right support and self-care. For years, Tom was in a relationship with a partner who constantly belittled him, undermined his confidence, and made him question his worth. After the relationship ended, Tom struggled with feelings of guilt, shame, and inadequacy. He found it difficult to trust his own judgment and doubted his ability to make sound decisions. He was often plagued by negative thoughts, believing that he wasn't good enough or that he was destined to make the same mistakes over and over again. Through therapy, Tom began to understand how much his ex-partner's manipulation had shaped his self-perception. Working with a therapist, he was able to challenge the distorted beliefs instilled by his abuser and gradually rebuild his self-esteem. One of the most important aspects of his recovery was practicing self-compassion. Tom began to treat himself with the same kindness and understanding he would offer a friend who had gone through similar experiences. He also engaged in activities that brought him joy, such as hiking and photography, which allowed him to reconnect with his passions and interests. Over time, Tom regained his sense of self and learned to trust his own judgment again. He realized that the abuse he had endured did not define him, and he was worthy of love, respect, and happiness. Tom's journey highlights the power of therapy, self-compassion, and meaningful activities in healing emotional wounds. By giving himself the grace to heal and the courage to rebuild, he was able to regain his confidence and rediscover his true identity. Practical takeaway: self-care practices and psychological exercises for healing. 1. Journaling for self-reflection. One of the most powerful tools for healing is self-reflection through journaling. Writing about your experiences, emotions, and thoughts can help you process trauma, track your healing progress, and uncover patterns that need attention. Reflecting on your journey not only helps you gain clarity, but also reinforces your strength and resilience. 2. Practice self-compassion. Regularly engage in exercises that promote self-love and understanding. You can practice self-compassion by repeating positive affirmations such as "I am worthy of love" or "I deserve peace and happiness." Engage in activities that nourish your soul, whether it's taking a relaxing bath, reading, or simply resting. Treat yourself with the kindness you would offer a friend. 3. Therapeutic techniques. If you're struggling with the emotional aftermath of manipulation or abuse, consider seeking therapy with a trauma-informed specialist. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can help you challenge negative self-beliefs, while EMDR can help you process painful memories. Both approaches can provide invaluable support on your healing journey. 4. Engage in meaningful activities. Reconnect with activities that once brought you joy or try new hobbies that spark your interest. Pursuing passions or exploring new areas of life can help you rediscover your sense of self and rebuild your confidence. Conclusion: embracing the journey of healing. Healing from emotional abuse and manipulation is a deeply personal and often challenging process, but it is also a journey of empowerment. By understanding the psychological impact of abuse, seeking therapy, practicing self-compassion, and engaging in activities that nourish your soul, you can rebuild your sense of self and reclaim your identity. The road to healing may be long, but it is filled with opportunities for growth, self-discovery, and transformation. Through patience, support, and a commitment to self-care, survivors can not only heal their emotional wounds, but also emerge stronger, more resilient, and more in touch with their authentic selves. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more, and don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share your thoughts with us. We're in this journey together,